Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie Dip&ChewGuy, and this is an add-on review. This is the 22nd overall and first of two add-ons to series number 11, which was and is North American market snus. So we will be looking at a new product from Swedish Match, fairly new product. It actually was released, and I first saw it online about a month and a half to 2 months ago. It is the Strong Mint from the Xtreme, Thunder Xtreme line. All right. So in the series when I did it, which was early in this year, there were three products at the time. There was the original Strong, and the Strong Red. They have released Strong Mint and Strong Winter Green, which I will be doing a review of. It's sitting right off to my side here, probably sometime next week. But right now, the Mint. So let's take a look at the packaging. It's all pretty straightforward. Now, this does have a catch lid for used portions. Portions is what this Snus world calls pouches, so we shall call them portions. Pretty straightforward. Banding's basically just branding, flavor, and the fact that it is 20 portions in this can. On the back is basically all the information. Okay, so it's Strong Mint. It's of the Thunder Xtreme line, which you see up the top. Sales only allowed in the United States. It is 100% premium imported tobacco. Since this is a very European-esque product, that's all right. The can weight is only 0.7 net weight ounces. It's a pretty light can. It is manufactured, as I said, by Swedish Match, and they are headquartered, although a lot of their American sales goes through Pinkerton, which is in Owensboro, Kentucky. Swedish Match itself, which is Pinkerton's parent company, is in Richmond, Virginia. You then have best if used by date, which is January 22nd, 2020, barcode, and there are ingredients down the bottom. It's nice that they do ingredients lists. I think that would be something that would be applied. I don't know how many dippers in the United States would really pay too much attention to an ingredients list, but I think it is an overall good thing. It sort of holds whatever the company is somewhat accountable. So in this, the number one ingredient is water, then tobacco, natural and artificial flavors, plant fiber, I don't remember that one before, humectant, salt, which is sodium chloride, pH adjuster, which is sodium carbonate, baking soda basically, and that's about it. So I am going to, I think, let me try it with the thumbnail first. Oh, it's actually cutting. Okay. These have really like rubbery bands on them, and my thumbnail is extremely lacking at the moment. I didn't think I'd be able to cut through this, but actually it's pretty easy. So let's get this open. Wow. All right. That's what you're looking at in the can. There are 20 portions. It looks like the paper, they are moist. They're not overly wet by any means, but they are moist. If you touch them to my lip or your lip, you will feel that they are moist. Strong mint smell coming off this, like a really popping strong mint. It looks like the pouch material was originally white. from the end seams. So I'm going to take one of these. Now, they're not overly big things, all right? They are smaller, slightly shorter than, let's say, a Skull pouch or a Copenhagen pouch. They are not as fat. They are about as wide this way, all right? But 20 of these in the can and it's still coming out at 0.7 tells me, you know, there's not much in each one. I'm going to throw it up top, which is the traditional way of using snus, and I'm only going to use one to see how strong this actually is. And I will be back in a moment. And I'm back. Okay, this stuff is surprisingly strong. I don't know if I haven't been doing any strong products recently, but it's strong and it's burning the heck out of my upper gum. I had it up front here, but the burn was significant enough to the point where I started tearing. So I had to move it farther around the side, and now it's burning there. The byproduct, the saliva off of this, I'm going to spit with this. And I'll tell you why. Because when I did the original reviews of the original strong and the red strong, it was not overly comfortable swallowing the product. Now, I'm guessing, keeping in line with all snus products, this is pasteurized and it will not do any ill effects to one if they do swallow. But considering the burn I'm getting in my mouth now, it's telling me that if I do swallow any byproduct off this product, I'm probably starting to get a burn sensation in my throat. So the mint is, it takes a little while to get going. Don't confuse this with like a Camel Frost or something, all right? It's not as sweet, number one. It is much stronger, all right? Now, I've done strong mint snus products before. They usually don't have a byproduct that burns the throat. This stuff does, as I found out with the red and the original that were in the original series. Now, for the most part, I'm basically just spitting white because it's really just saliva for the most part, since I do have it up top. And the reason why it's that it's burning enough that I'm salivating, basically. Now, I do not do snus regularly. I hardly ever do it. Okay? So I am not used to myself having something up top, and that could be part of the reason why it is affecting me the way it is. That said, though, I think anybody watching this is going to get some sort of burn, backdash, tingle sensation going on. Some of it may have to do with the mint. The mint, it's not like a mint dip, all right? The mint flavor is not going to wash over the interior of your mouth. It is minty. The longer you keep it in, the more flavor you will get from it. Snus is a very different product, although it sort of, at one time in history, was the Divergent and Dip was the other. They really parted ways there. It's a different experience, and one that I used to enjoy quite a lot, but I moved away from. I definitely prefer Dip as of the last 5 years, let's say. So, if you need nicotine and you're okay with a mild burning sensation in the throat, this probably will well do you, at least on the nicotine front, and be okay for not spitting in a indoor work situation or somewhere else. Do keep in mind, though, that you are most likely in the upper lip going to have some sort of mouth sensation that, to me, registers as uncomfortable. It's calming down now, and it was mostly just where the pouch was sitting, the portion was sitting, but it was pretty strong. Now, nicotine-wise, during the break, I actually felt like sort of an uptick. Like, I knew it was kicking in. It has plateaued. Like, I'm not worried about it getting stronger and stronger and stronger like the Siberia product. But it's probably a little more nicotine than I need. One pouch was enough. All right. So that, in that sense, it's a good deal because you're getting 20 pouches and you're only using one at a time. I'm sure there's guys that need nicotine to the point that they will do 2 pouches and be okay with that. I do not need that. In fact, the nicotine level in this for me is probably a little more than I need in one shot. The packaging is nice. I was a little surprised by the rubbery band cutting as easily as it did. It does have a fairly deep well where the upper and bottom of the can come together. These cans are more like 2 halves than a dip can. A dip can, you have the can and you have a lid sitting on top of it. The snus cans, especially when they have these catch lids, are sort of like 2 halves. Now, the bottom part, the can, is a deeper half, but there is more to the pull-off lid. As such, the well where you run your thumb or fingernail or whatever around is pretty deep, and that's why the band cut fairly easily. I was expecting to have to pull the cracker knife. Now that this is calming down in my mouth, I'm thinking I'm going to put the mud jug away. And I think if it's not burning me up here and it's not burning the side of my tongue anymore, which it was a little bit, by the way, I'm okay now with the idea of swallowing. As I said, snus is pasteurized. It is not fermented like dip. So technically speaking, it should not cause any stomach upset or anything like that. You're not going to salivate as much as dip with it up top. Normally, I hardly salivate at all with snus. One of the reasons, actually, I don't overly care for it anymore. The thing with this is, because of the mouthfeel, your mouth automatically starts, juicing up just from, like, the burning sensation. And as it turned out for me, when I had it up front, my eyes also started watering. So, all in all, this seems a little bit smoother than the Red Strong. Now, maybe they got feedback and whatnot, reviews and, marketing cues from the release of the 3 products originally, and maybe they toned down whatever was making the strong red uncomfortable in the throat. Because there's been a gap. All told, it was almost a year between the first 3 original products and this and the winter green coming out. So maybe they made some adjustments and it's not as bad. But now, see, I swallowed some right there. Now it's not really burning. Not like the red. The red was the worst. The mint is okay. There is a sort of, it's a tobacco flavor behind the mint, but it is not like a dark fire dip tobacco flavor. It's a little bit more complicated. It's not bad by any means. It's just I'm not going to be able to really explain it. The mint is, with the tobacco underneath it, it comes off as sort of like a darker mint. Not overly sweet. As I said, flavor-wise, sweetness and nicotine, this is not a Camel Frost. Don't be expecting that with this product. But it checks the boxes with nicotine, and definitely. And I think you could get away with no spitting or much reduced spitting if you were in an indoor situation. All in all, it's not a product that, I would go out of my way, besides for this channel, to buy for myself. I think, personally, If I thought I was going to be in an elongated indoor situation where I could not use a spittoon, I would probably go with one of the general products. But it is nice to have a range of different products by different companies, so you have options. This is definitely stronger than the general products. Definitely stronger. All right. So this has been the add-on review. It will be the 22nd overall of the North American Snus playlist. That is playlist number 11. This will be the first of 2 add-on reviews. The next add-on will be the wintergreen, and that will be sometime next week. I am the Suit&Tie Dip and Chew Guy. I do hope you all are well. Do take care of yourselves, and God bless.